There we go.
Here we go, man. Welcome to a special Father's Day edition of Clockwatch. Happy Father's Day to everybody, y'all. I want to give a big shout out to everybody tuning in. It's Father MC, aka King Clips, the family man doing the family damn ting. Right now, I want to go to my right, Black Earth. You are on the clock, brother.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo, King Clips. I appreciate you hosting the show tonight and taking over Father. Yo, happy Father's Day to you, my brother.
Thank you,
And
sir.
TJ Spitter, happy Father's Day to you, my brother. I'm Big T. I'm Big Black Earth. You can reach me. I'm owner of 2117. My family's here, the community right here. We're doing big things, and I'm gonna pass it on. You're on the clock, TJ.
Yo, my name is TJ Spitter. I'm just happy to be here. I am here to not condone any of the fuckery that goes on this show. You can catch me on everything on TJ Spitter. I'm going to go down now to Chrissy. You are on the clock.
Hey, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I want to thank everybody on the panel for having me back. I definitely had a blast last Tuesday. Just want to put out there to keep an eye out. I will be posting some things. I've got an organization, a Black movement coming in, forceforlife.com. It is going to go live June 29th. So be on the lookout. It's going to be everything about Black power, Black people, and a Black movement. And I'm now sending it to Lady E.
Hey everyone, Lady E, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like that. And we appreciate all the comments that you guys give us tonight on our show. It should be a really, really good one. So hopefully you stay tuned till the very end because it's going to be good. So thank you for joining us.
All right, what's good, everybody? It's your man Jackson coming to you from Denver, Colorado, co-host of Brothers and Bottles podcast. Proud to be a co-host in this one for tonight. Once again, happy Father's Day to everybody, and definitely don't forget to check out the YouTube and subscribe to it.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. At the same time, Earth, why don't you tell our viewers how to get their comments going on the wall, so that their names can show up and they're not just, identified as Facebook user.
I don't think he heard you.
It looks like he's frozen right there.
Well, basically, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm true Black Earth right now, guys, because you can't see my picture, but now you hear me. That's all that matters, though. So when you guys go to our fan pages and all our groups and on Facebook, please accept the terms from StreamYard. StreamYard will allow you to, when they have permission to post your name and your picture, so it comes up on our actual page there. So we'll try to follow the best of your name, but please, if we can't see you, you haven't accepted terms, please post your name and your comment so we can give you the respect that's due. All right, and also don't forget, mash that button on that YouTube subscriber. We need to bring that numbers up. All right, it's like breaking. We try and reach that goal.
Absolutely. Black, you want to dip out and come back in for a sec so you can get your screen right or not? You good?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But before y'all go into your first subject, and let's kick the show off. It's all you, right. Father MC.
Father MC, let's go. All right. So off with let's go a little light on them with this. What does it mean to be a good father? Is a lot of people held to television standards, and they see these television fathers as the role models for good fathers, but real fathers know that real life isn't like that sometimes. What are your thoughts on it, Jackson?
Oh shoot, I'm not gonna lie. Back in the day, I so wish I had Dr. Huxtable as my pops. Okay, it's like, hey, he was patient, funny, intelligent, could show Theo everything he needed to know. Then you have real life. I don't even talk to my pops or associate with them. So I always had those TV idols to follow their lead. May it be Bill Cosby when he was Dr. Huxtable, the old fat guy from Family Matters, Uncle
Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow.
Exactly. They're just like I always got my life lessons from those guys as father figures. So yeah, it's hard to compare real life to TV, because real life isn't always shown on television.
So heavy. All right, Chrissy, what are your thoughts on that?
So what does it mean to be a good father? And this is coming from a mother's perspective and a woman's perspective. I feel like it's not going to be perfect like you see on television. That's, you know, a 30-minute skit and off the show they go, and they're not really anybody's parents. But for me, I feel like a good father is someone who is attentive to their child's needs, puts them first. Of course, you know, as a father, you have to be able to provide and take care of yourself before you can then go on and provide for your child. But you still need to be there, you know, tucks them in at night, does their homework with them, takes them to a doctor's appointment, you know, takes them on a fishing trip, whatever it is, just being there and being present. And even with the things I said, it's not just financial. It's just not about currency and being able to provide for them and give them great gifts, but just being there, teaching them life lessons. It's so important for both boys, young boys and girls, to have a positive male role figure in their family, you know, in their life, and more so a father than anything else. Because for a daughter, that's her first love, and that's where she learns how to be loved by a man from her father. And then for a son, he teaches him how to be a man. And I think those skills and providing that to your children is what the meaning of a good father is. You don't have to have and take them on $3,000 trips, but just being present and in their life is the present.
Right. How you feel about that, Lady?
Yeah, you said everything amazing. Like, I agree with all of that. I also believe that a good father needs to make sacrifices too for his child. You know, he can't be going out partying all night, or, you know, the mom can take care of the kid while the dad just, you know, does whatever. You know, a good father has to be there too, just like the mom does, you know.
You saying he can't party at all, or?
No, you can party, but like,
around how many times a month can he hit the bar for a beverage?
Huh?
How many times a month could he hit the bar for a beverage? Under good father standards.
I'm just saying, you have to be like attentive to your child's needs, be there for them. Can't be going out every night, but, you know, every now and then it's fine. You know, just so I also watched shows when I was younger, and I saw what, you know, good fathers were supposed to be like, because I mean, I didn't really have that example set for me when I was growing up. So I would watch shows, movies, you know, and I was just like, oh, okay. Or I saw my friends' fathers, you know, act how they acted, and I was like, wow, you know, you have a really good father. And I would appreciate, you know, their views and how they were to their kids. And, you know, it just taught me what I wanted to have for my kids when I got older. So I think it's important to be there for your child, especially a father.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that one. So you were looking at family dads as, hey, look, they have a good thing going on. He has a nice rapport with his kids. And that was your, all right, I get it. Okay. DJ Spitter, your thoughts?
You know, first, like, the only thing that I ever learned from my dad, like, I knew TV scripted was bullshit, because I know that's not real life, and I learned that from a very young age, right? And like, I'm not here to like kick my dad's back in, because he's not here to defend himself. But what I can tell you, that like the two things that I learned from him was he was a hard worker, and he worked all the way up until the day he died, right? And he was loyal to my mother, like, undeniably, for 30 years. You know, I say all that to say this, like, you know, for me, like, I have teenagers. Every day is on the job training, right? Like, I don't know how they going, if they're going to have good days or if they're going to have bad days, you know what I mean? But I'm responsible for being there, right? And like, kind of like what Christina said, like, I be telling my guys this all the time. It's always presence over presence, right? Like, be there right? You don't gotta. I'm not here to shower you with gifts and stroke your ego. None of that pity pat shit, right? But like, I'm gonna love you unconditionally. I'm gonna be there every day. You know what I mean? Like, and be the solid. You know what I mean? Like, and the crazy piece is like I didn't really have a dad to learn that from. So like, I have a bunch of other great male role models in my life. And realistically, like I have such a great open line of communication with my wife. Like if I'm doing something wrong, she gonna check me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like the on the job training shit, right? Like how you handle a situation on Tuesday may not be the same way you handle that situation on Saturday. You know what I mean?
Nah, I definitely hit.
But if you do it in a kind, loving manner, you know. So that's how
my
I
wife don't give a fuck about no kind, loving man. She'll check the shit out of me in front of all my friends. You know what I'm saying? She ain't too good at loving kindness unless we, you know. But
can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a little bit to touch on what TJ said. A good father is also someone who respects their child's mother, even if they don't like them.
That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
That's another key element there because you need to have that common ground and you have to co-parent effectively and efficiently. And
there
if you
should
don't
never be division.
Right. Yes. So that's another element of a.
Division. Hold on. Even if there is division, it should never be in front of the child.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So
I mean, there's undeniably, even with someone that you live with, there may be division, but man, kids shouldn't see certain shit.
Agreed.
Yeah. If I can step in real quick, we have, the comments of the group is growing. Shout outs again to everybody on Facebook. We got some comments. Raheem says, "What's up, Spit? What's good?"
Hey, kids.
You know
Spit.
what I mean?
What up, man? What's up, Gets? Love you, bro.
Yeah. We got a happy Father's Day from Shaisha. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of people tuning in. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I know my man Black Earth got a whole lot to say on this topic. I saw him warming up over there, getting ready. So you got the floor back up, Black Earth. I'm gonna bring it up real quick.
What's my motivation? What's my motivation? Oh, all right, there you go. We talking about what does it mean to be a good father? Listen, it's very simple. It's being there for your kids, regardless of that situation, that toxic situation with your other parents. They're not going to get along, and if you fake it, your children see that anyway. So if you're just trying to get along, just to go along, just for y'all to be on a good, your kids see that, they sense that. So it don't matter how it goes. They you might as well give them the real early. I've been like, and for who don't know my story, I'm a single parent. I have 5 kids, 4 biologically mine. I raised 4 of them, have custody of them, and 1 I don't have custody of. Listen, I do everything on my power to make sure my kids have a relationship with their mother, even when she didn't want to have a relationship with them. And I can tell you, if she's listening right now, she know who it is. Like, she know what time it is. We couldn't stand each other, and I didn't deny that. I kept that right and open, but I let my kids know how I feel about your mother is not how you should feel about your mother, because that is your mother. I said we just it came to a point where we just can't get along as adults. We couldn't get it right, but that's still your mother. You know what I mean? So it's not about making good and all that stuff like that. It is what it is. Life is messy, and the earlier kids see like the realness in the relationship, the better they can deal with their own relationships when it comes to the time of them getting in relationships. Also, a good dad. I think I'm a great dad. But on the other flip corner of that, I don't see my son at all. I don't have a relationship with him at all, and that's more because the mother is being vindictive. All she wants is the money. She wants to parade, like he using it as a pawn, and she gets some money. There's no doubt. She gets. Listen, we gonna talk. She gets 30% of my income, not including everything else. She gets paid, but yeah.
Hold on. Look at tax, man. Look at tax.
Yeah. Well, I know because she was. Here's the thing, though. I'll tell you a quick little story. I overpaid my arrears child support by $8,000. She was getting child support every 2 weeks. And she didn't notify nobody, said nothing to me, and nothing like that. And they was taking the money. And she was like, "Oh, I just thought you started making more money, so I thought that's what they just got to give me more money." I'm like, "Are you serious?"
That's what she thought.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, you got to pay that back. Like, that at one point it's coming back for you." "Oh no, I don't have to do that." I'm like, "Listen, I'm not trying to argue. I just want to see my son. I want to be able to have a conversation with him. But if I don't want to have a conversation with her, she doesn't want me to have a conversation with my son. And listen, I know I'm taking up my time, but you know, y'all spoke. Give me some time to let me take off my jacket.
Bro. Still got man.
All right, you're right, but I'm gonna make this quick. So
all that talking about. But God.
Yeah. So Christmas time, she gave me a text message talking about she's gonna send my son to me. I'm like, oh, word, I'll send the money, and buy whatever he needs to send him on. She was like, all right, she's gonna put him on a plane. So I send the money. A couple weeks before the plane was supposed to leave, she said, I need more money, buy him a coat. It's cold up there. I was like, all right, well, here's $200 something. I'll send you get a coat. So you send him on the way. So I call her back like, yo, so what day is he gonna be on the plane? And nothing, crickets, nothing. I didn't hear back from her. This is supposed to be for Christmas. I didn't hear back from her to February. And then she was like, oh, well, I thought you knew. I'm like, thought I knew what? Like, I gave you the money. Where's my kid? What you doing? On top of that, a week ago, on another show we had, she posted something in the comments. My son still wanted Xbox. Now, chick, you got my income 30%. Jackson, you financial, you can do the math for and stuff like that. You got your stimulus payment, and you have 3 other kids, right? You got your stimulus payment on top of that. Plus, you get my tax return you have for the last 3 to 4 years. What are we talking about?
$500.
And you can't buy that system with all the money you got from them. She told me she got to buy stuff for her other kids and pay for her rent. So, B, that's how I feel about another parent. B,
black. Does she work?
No, she's on disability.
Wow.
And she like 29, I think, or some shit. Like she mad. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, so that's what it comes down to. So I believe that being a good parent is about knowing what time it is for your kid and being there for your being a father, being there for your kid, and and not hide shit from them. Open their eyes and shit, because life is messy. Early they learn that they can get on with their life.
Okay, right. I just want to jump in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. The definition of being a good father breaks down to one thing: just showing up.
Yeah,
absolutely. All you got to do, just show up. It's like, it doesn't matter if you were taught to be a good father or anything. Just show up for your kids. Make them priority number one. That's it.
If I can just hit that real quick, and then we'll move on to our next topic. For me, it's a learning progress. I have 4 kids total. I try with them. Sometimes you lose your temper though, and then I'll be like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I shouldn't have handled that way, or I know I could have handled that better. I know that's not what Cliff Huxtable would have done in the Thursday night episode of, the Cosby Show.
Yeah, but you don't have a script.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, I guess what we were talking about earlier, there's no such thing as perfection or a perfect father. It's something I feel like you got to learn on the fly. But Jackson was 100% correct. The first and big part about it, I'm going to say, like, for me, 80% of it is just being in your kid's life. If you're there, man, they remember you throughout the course of their life, man. Like, y'all don't get it. I was taking pictures with my pops in Rikers Island when I was 5 years old. Like, I haven't seen this guy. He is the definition of absentee father. So I don't know what a good father is supposed to look like. There's dudes that I've looked at their situations and been like, hey, he looks like a good dad. The Lord knows what the hell's going on in their home. I mean, a lot of people put that perfect facade on when they leave the door. And when they get in their home, it's a completely different story. But, I'm learning on the fly, man. I think I'm doing pretty okay. My kids love me. So all 4 of them. I can't be,
But I think when you don't have a father growing up, right, it can do one of 2 things. You can go to either one extreme. You can either mirror that behavior that you learned by not having that parent there, or you can do the opposite and realize what you wanted and what you felt you needed as a child from either parent and project that onto being a parent. So no, there's not a perfect parent, but you knew you were a child once and you knew what you needed and what you wanted, right? So, you go buy a TV in Walmart and it comes with a whole big manual in Chinese, Japanese, English, Russian. You come home with a baby and it's like, just don't kill it. Like,
Yeah, you hear some horror stories out there nowadays, right, man? Like, it gets crazy out there in real life. Like, how many times you heard, you know, baby found dead, parent left him in the car when he went in the store to go shopping. You know what I'm saying? Woman gives birth to a baby in the bathroom. That was local shit. That was around us.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
So, I mean, don't do that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
we know what not to do.
Wait, hold on.
Don't do that.
Like, don't do that shit. Like, come
Hold
on.
on. You didn't get the manual? I mean,
What's
I got
that?
my manual. You didn't get the manual?
You
Nah,
got a manual? I didn't get a
Listen.
manual. I winged it.
Oh,
I keep them alive better than I do plants.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah.
She not lying.
it is.
Her plant is suspect. We had to take
I gave it
custody
to
of the
his wife.
plant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gave custody.
My wife,
willingly.
yeah, my wife got custody of the plant. The plant is flourishing now, but it was neglected for some
It
time.
was very neglected. But my kids are still alive.
They are.
That must have been a lot of prayer. That's what they say. They take the community to raise kids.
Yes.
Okay. Well, moving on to the
But
next.
I also want to add a little something. It's not just about being there, like in the present with the child. You also have to be interactive with them too. Talk to them.
Thank you.
Teach them things. You know, like on a daily basis, or like just ask them questions about their life and be involved with their life. Because you know, some dads out there, like they're in the house, but like not really communicating with the child. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was my dad. Like he was not meant to be a father. Like he was there but not really there, working a lot. I was just there hanging out. You know, it was just, if you're gonna be a father, be a father. If not, then
You would be surprised how far how was your day, a hug, and then I love you go.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I didn't get that, so
Aw. Listen, I'm going to hug you to the phone.
You heard the voice he put on? Ladies
Yes,
and gentlemen,
I got
Lavender
it.
has entered the building.
Suge Knight. That's Lavender Suge Knight. Yeah.
Why y'all hating?
All right. Check this out, y'all. We're gonna get into this next topic. Bang. Real spicy one. Real spicy Father's Day edition. Oh, look at him. He revving up. Does child support really support your child? I'm gonna go lead off with Black Earth on this one because he has a whole lot to say tonight.
Hold on, real quick. You seen Black Earth's power meter go all the way up?
He's ready to super right now. He wants the level 3 super. Go.
Yo, listen. I touched on this in the last topic. Like I said, 30% of my income. Now that's my main job. I had to get a second job to that job. I had to get a second job to the second job, and create a job. Because it's killing me because I'm raising 4 kids alone besides that child that I'm taking care of, and I'm taking care of her kids. You know what I mean? It's like child support is forgive me for the people at home, some bullshit. Child support is really not, it's not designed for helping out that child. It's to help out the situation. It's almost like leverage. They use it as as blackmail, to get back to them. It doesn't. It just really. Listen, two people decide to lay down and have a child. If you had a child together, you take care of the child. If that person,
but not everybody.
Hold on. If that
if
that person had that child with that body, and that dude that you chose, you knew that wasn't shit from the beginning, doesn't take care of that person, then that's really us on your responsible of a parent to take care of that child, regardless of that dude. You're not gonna get it from that dude at all. Like child support is just a way to criminal. Regardless, we all have to make better decisions. I got custody of my 4 daughters, and I get 0 child support from their mother, at all, none.
And that's not right either. I don't agree with that at all.
It's a double standard when you go to
no,
court.
No, it's not. You need to go to court and get that.
No, baby,
sweetheart. And I will help you write the motion.
I've done. No. I went there. I have the what you call it? The judge signing off on the child support I'm supposed to receive. They just don't collect it from her.
You need a better attorney.
Oh no, I have all my kids.
One at a time.
I don't think I could have got a better attorney, bro. My attorney is so good. I got custody of her child. That's not even my child. That's how good my attorney was.
You got Johnny Cochran?
Bro.
I need that attorney. I need
the
number.
So, do you think child support really supports the child though?
No, because they don't use it in that manner. A lot of not everyone,
Touch up on that.
It's not everyone, but there's a lot of women that do not. They misappropriate the funds. You know that word. You know that type.
Oh yeah, that's a big word. It's very popular nowadays.
Yeah. Because that's where money's supposed to go to that child. It's not supposed to be going to your whole entire rent. It's not supposed to be going to your shopping. It's supposed to go to a part of it. It's supposed to be whatever that child needs. It's supposed to be designed for you to save for that child too. Not for you to go out there. It's like, oh, my baby daddy sent me some money. We gonna hit the club this weekend.
He knows he's got.
I got some wick mixed with some Hennessy. We gonna make some. So
he said I got some wick mixed with some Hennessy.
I got you. Yeah, hold up. You gotta hold up. I got you. Yo, keep going, yo. Keep going.
It's really like it's the way that it's structured is a joke. And to be honest with you, it's not really legal for child support. They are a collection agency on an unofficial document that you haven't signed with them that you claim that you owe this money. And if you want proof, I got proof for you, and I got avenues, websites, and places you can get to show you that child support is a joke and is actually unconstitutional. But I'll let you go. I digress.
All right, no, we are going directly. Chrissy right now because I don't want her to lose none of that energy she had just a couple of seconds ago. Chrissy, I'll bring the question up again. Does child support really support the child?
Absolutely. Let me tell you something, all right?
Tell me.
First of all, half of the time it's not even enough, okay? That's right. He's gonna get the whole finger. He's gonna get the whole hand in a second, right? Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay, child support is absolutely for the child. There are so many areas that a child needs financially, and 90% of the time, the amount of money that's being provided to the parent is not enough. He or she needs electricity, running water, a roof over their head, sneakers on their feet, clothes on their back, books in their book bag, miscellaneous stuff to brush their teeth, dentist appointments, eyeglasses, ear doctor, regular doctor. When you have to take sick days because the dad ain't taking care of the kid, and now you use all your PTO, so you ain't getting paid for the day, but you're home with the baby that's sick and can't go to school. So what about there's so many, okay, all right, that money is not enough to help to support the child. Now, absolutely, I do agree that you need to know who you lay with. But when my husband and I decided to go ahead and that's my baby boy right there, that made the comment. When my ex-husband and I decided to have the baby, we planned him, but then he decided to get up, walk away, give me so full custody, and decide he wasn't going to do anything. So I have to do completely everything for this child, okay?
Real fast. It's a blessing that your children have you in your life.
Hold on. Let her come on in. Let her come on in, bro. Pull up a chair, baby. Come on. Let's go. Let's dive in. Go ahead.
Listen, y'all. Okay. We got to respect each other out here. She is in the middle of her thing. Let her go. You want to get your turn, TJ.
I was just saying it was a blessing that her kids have her in her life. Mm-hmm. I'm that close. I'm that close.
Nah, that's big. Yeah, big facts.
No,
let me speak.
And listen. Do I need his money to take care of my kid? No, I do not need his money to take care of my kid. But why is it okay for him to go off, any parent to go off, not to have the day-to-day responsibility of raising that child and have no culpability or financial responsibility towards that child? Just like when I said when the kid gets sick, school trips, school lunch, when they fall and scrape their knee and you got to leave work to go pick them up from school. When, they're in the middle of the night when they're having diarrhea and throwing up. I mean, there's a cost to that. There's a cost to all of that. And it's not fair that it falls on one parent, whether it be the mother or the father who has full custody of the child.
Life is not fair. This is not a pig doesn't get a prize from it.
No, but if you know what? If you gave me some of your sperm and made that damn baby, well, goddamn, you're going to give me some of your check too.
I got that golden. I got that golden shit. Yo,
listen, you know, it doesn't get messy in here for another hour and 17 minutes. Relax.
Hey, that's fine. Nah. Hey, yo, listen. I already knew what it was when Black hit me with your hosting the show because I want to be on the panel. I said, all right. I already knew what kind of show it was going to be tonight, y'all. Plus, it's Father's Day. Touchy topic with the ladies. Let's go, man. I think I'm gonna lighten the mood a little bit.
Hey, real fast.
We got other people.
Real fast, real fast. Can I have one of my admins of the group on the Facebook group page? There's a bunch of people right now that are trying to get approved to get into the group. If one of y'all can dive in and do that real
I
quick.
got you.
Well, you can do it too.
I got
You
you.
can do that,
I'm
bro.
on my phone in the garage. You the one with you got
Man,
17 microphones,
hosting the show,
13
bro.
laptops, the Darth Vader voice box. You gonna
Oh.
leave me the hell alone?
Well, you know, I got to keep it that way. You know?
Yeah, LTJ, what you talking about? Yeah. All right, now, but seriously, do you have anything else? He's absolutely right, by the way. People that are trying to get in the group, if you see him, just have them approve that, and they can come in and watch the
Got
show
it.
as well. Hey, Chrissy,
It's done.
do you have anything else you would like to add on to that? This is the final take.
So yeah, what I want to say, because I don't want to make it sound like, because
Why don't we get a chance to come
I'm
back?
obviously talking from personal experience,
Hurt.
and I believe this even for you, Black. Any parent that is solely taking care of that child 100% of the time, or even 80% of the time, should be eligible and should receive that child support, because you didn't lay down alone. So I'm all for it. When the mom don't have custody, dad needs to go to court and get that money as well. Do I think that you guys should be able to come together cohesively and work out what that number is and not go to court? Ideally, that's the way you want it done, right? You don't want a court system. You don't want a judge in there telling you what you're going to do and not do. This is your child and your family. But unfortunately, sometimes you can't agree to it, and you do have to get outside sources to come in and help alleviate that and moderate those situations. But as two grown adults, I think you should be able to do it. But I don't think that either one should
I
be
got
able to walk away and say, nope, I'm not paying.
I got this
That's
though.
my take.
But Lily E, I know you got something to say because you're a single mother too. So go ahead.
I am. I'm a single mother of two. I have a 13-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy, and I have not received 1 cent of child support ever. And so my daughter's father and we both had joint custody, so that's why I didn't get any child support from him. And my son's father signed over his rights when he was a year old, so I'm not going to get anything from him either. But so I've been doing it on my own. I have not asked for anything. I'm not expecting anything. I'd rather, work for what my kids need. And, my kids also see that, and they see how hard that I work for them and, what I spend my money on, which is mainly them. So, even now my daughter lives with her dad, and, her dad is always complaining about how much, she costs to him. Like, oh, I have to pay this and this and this, but then, he wants to go buy a pair of Jordans or whatever and go to the strip club every weekend and all this stuff. And, she sees this, and she's 13. So she's like, oh, well, this stuff is more important than, stuff for school or food or whatever else, but she sees, what I do for them. And I mean, as long as I'm doing my part and doing my job to raise them as best as I can, their money, their problems, like, I don't want it. Like, I don't want anything from them. I just want to do what I have to do.
100.
So.
I agree with her.
So, all right. I'm gonna take it to Jackson right now, because I think he's gonna drop some big facts on us right now. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of debate. What do you got to say about this, Jackson? Does child support really support the child?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I got a few things to say about this. One, every situation is different between couples. If you have two working couples, they could definitely figure it out themselves. They don't need child support involved. Okay. But on the same note, when relationships end, people get vengeful, especially if there's a child involved. Okay. I know several men who have got hit with child support, but they are there 100% for their kids. And the only reason that they're on child support is because their ex became very vindictive and put them on child support because they wanted more. In one case, it backfired because child support was like, okay, you're going to get this much. He's not obligated to give you anything else. She was pissed. She was livid. because it dropped her stuff. I would say $300 a month. That's gone. Now, there was a big debate about putting child support payments on cards, and the cards can only be used for the child. I don't know how I feel about that, but that right there is a debate now, like for food, shoes, clothing, so on and so forth. The way I look at it, just sit down with your baby mama or baby daddy and figure it out like adults. Okay, you don't need a second or a third party coming in to your relationship. You didn't have one when y'all were fucking.
Facts.
So
you don't know that.
One now. Say what?
Oh, you got a referee?
Well, you don't know that.
Oh, you got a referee?
True.
About to get to our first time out.
Hold up.
In some cases, you can't do that though. Like the other parent is just so stubborn and will not even listen to anything you have to say.
They're hurt.
True.
That's what it comes down to.
That's an interesting one, real quick. Can I go to the comments right quick?
Sure.
It says Mrs. Nah, my bad. That's the wrong comment. It's just popping up. Mod says he put himself on child support because he wasn't trying to hear shit from her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stand up, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
A lot of people. I mean, that's not even uncommon. Actually, there's a lot of people that do that because it's the way for them to gain to visitation for their child, so they can have to be in the life of their child. And then and also that they don't have to worry about them coming after them, because when the money's of the rear starts to roll in, believe me, I was in 58,000, bro. I know how that go. When the numbers roll back and you got to pay that damn thing off and pay up on your regular child support, it's no joke because they go by your salary, and if you make good money, especially like New York, they're gonna tax your ass. And I've been in that situation. Luckily,
So I gotta go ahead.
Go ahead. No, what you guys say? Go ahead.
So with my middle son's father, he actually asked me to put him on child support. He was like, just put me on child support. I don't want to deal with it. Just let them take it out. That was 14 years ago. We have not been back to court since 14 years because he just wanted it to come out of his check. And I will tell you that it's not just that. He doesn't just give me what I get for child support. Yeah. Okay. He'll call me and be like, oh, you're taking the kids on a vacation? How much was his plane ticket? All right, it's in your bank account. Oh, what else he needs? All right, it's in your bank account. Like I don't even have to, he just gives it. And then my son he's going to be 20 and he hasn't been living with me for the last year. And I said to him, do you want me to take you back to court for to take you off of child support? Like he's not even living here. You want me to just take you off? And he said to me, wait, how long is it till 21? Nah, man, you earned that. Keep it.
That's a good dude.
Yeah, like he's not even
he's rare.
Yeah.
He's one out of 15 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's one. We won't talk about the other one because he ain't shit.
You only getting what the court tell you. That's what you getting. That's popping. That's what's going on. Listen,
Yo, can we? I want to move on to TJ Spitter. How do you feel about this? Do you feel like the child support actually support the child, or does it support the party?
Again, it's a case-by-case basis. I heard a lot of things on this panel. I can say I'm fortunate enough to where I don't have these problems. My problems are real good today, right? But like, what I can say is, a lot of people on the panel said when you choose to lay down with people, well, a lot of people make mistakes when they're young. One night of partying could lead to a whole baby for 18 years.
You still made a decision, though.
It's a bad decision, right? But and on the same token, right? Check this out, right? You need a license to drive a car. You need a license to catch a fish. You need a license to buy a gun. Yeah. But let any motherfucker be a mom or dad. Right?
Yep.
Like, there's no way I don't feel that there's any type of way child support can pay for the everyday. There's too many intangibles. There's too many audibles that happen on an everyday consistent basis for a child's life to say 30% or 22% or this $300 a month is going to pay for everything. Like that, to me, that's not realistic because like, what are you basing it on? You know what I mean? Like if your kid falls and busts his mouth and you got to take him to get stitches and get his teeth fixed, that wasn't in the plans.
Yes, it is.
You know
That's with the insurance.
Who's paying the premium?
I pay the premium. So because with the child support, when they put you on it, you're responsible for the insurance as well that covers the child.
So let me tell you, from my middle one's father, he is on his health insurance. For my last one, because he's a lovely man.
Unique individual.
Yes, a unique individual.
I know who's getting canceled tonight.
My last one is on mine. And like, I haven't gotten child support from him. He's not present. He's gone. He's whatever. And he was going from job to job. And I said, just put my kid on my insurance, because you know what? At the end of the day, he needs health insurance, and my kid's health and safety comes before any of this bullshit. So I don't care. Put him on my health insurance. Screw him. My kid needs his teeth, his glasses. He's been glasses since he's 4 years old, and they're not cheap. All right. So not always.
Well, here's the thing. There's always an avenue for care for them, because to be honest with you, insurance doesn't mean shit anyway, because it really is they're crooks. And I worked for the healthcare company for a long time, and I can tell you all about that. And another time we'll talk about that. So insurance, really, whether you have it or not, doesn't really mean anything, because if you go to certain people and say that you're going to get anesthesiologist, and you have to stop and ask them what insurance they take. And usually, if you're in that much pain, who's stopping and asking the anesthesiologist what insurance is covering your insurance?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you're not covered anyway. So I mean, there's always insurance means nothing. It's
but then there's also what's called charity care within the hospitals. There's other avenues that you can go. And if you need information, if you don't have insurance, depending on your pay, there's a sliding scale fee. There's a lot of different. Go see the social worker in the hospital, and you'll be able to get your care.
Most
low
definitely.
Cost or no cost.
Most definitely.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Right.
That's your PSA for today.
All right. I want to move on to this next.
Let's go.
Next.
Real quick, hold on. I have somebody saying that they can't get on. It says it's waiting for others.
What do you mean?
Somebody go into the share the stream again. Are they trying to get in the group?
No, he's already in the group. He's trying to get in the podcast, and he says it's waiting for others. I already sent him the link. I shared it to him.
All right. So
I'll work on that. I'm gonna drop off and work on that. Y'all continue on.
All right. So we have a lengthy title coming up next. We have the deadbeat, the divisive, and the narrative spinner. Which one have you experienced the most? I think I want to start with Lady E first. Yeah. You don't want to start with E? You don't want to go first?
No.
Man? Why not? Why you afraid to touch that one? Are you afraid to touch that one, yeah?
I'm not afraid. I don't want to talk about it right now.
All right, then we'll go with Chris.
No. Okay.
You can get a lot. Let me tell you, you can get a lot out of me today, because I've been in 1, 2, and 3 of those scenarios. Okay.
Today? Get a lot of you just today?
Just today? No. All the time. I'm always on, never off.
Yeah.
So, so I have been in every one of those situations. Obviously, I have discussed the deadbeat, and I'll go through it really quick. All right. Husband and I were together, divorced when my son was 4. He was planned. He wasn't an accident. He wasn't even an oops. Okay. We strategically planned him. Only child he has. My ex-husband didn't have a father around. So I thought, great, perfect, whatever. We've been married. This will work out fine. Mm-hmm. When we separated, everything was cohesive. We were fine. We were great. He had his own place. We were still eating meals as families together. He would still come over for dinner for the sake of our child. We would still go out to dinners for the sake of our child. Woman entered his life. Se jodió. That was it. It was done and over with. He took me to court. He had him Monday, Wednesday, every other Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? He took me to court and told the judge he wants to drop his Mondays and Wednesdays because he's not getting any parenting time. All he does is pick the child up from school, does his homework with him, feeds him dinner, puts him in the bath, and brings him back to me. And he doesn't get any parenting time. The judge actually looked at him and said, "Sir, what do you think parenting time is?" Okay. And I fought it. I said, no, he absolutely needs to be a part of my son's life. Fought it. Went back the second time. I said, you know what? All right, fine. No problem. Just give him every other weekend. It went from every other weekend to now he's giving me full legal custody. Completely walked out. doesn't see him, doesn't talk to him. And let me tell you something right now. My child is an amazing young man. He has a brilliant mind. He has a caring, genuine soul and heart. And his father is missing out on such a terrific and amazing child. So at the end of the day, I feel like he's losing more than my son's losing. So there's deadbeat dad. So that's my that's my deadbeat dad story.
Okay.
And he's also the narrative spinner because according to him, I've created alienation of his parental rights. I've created an alienation situation where my child, I brainwashed him so much that my child no longer loves his father, and that's why he can't be there. Absolutely false. Absolutely false. The divisive is my daughter's father.
Okay.
He likes to sit there and your mother. Mm-hmm. I've never once said a bad word about him. I never once told her all the things he did and did not do. Every time that man showed up at my door, whether it was a year interval, or 3-year interval, or 4-year interval, no matter what it was, when he knocked on that door, said, your dad's here. Never told him no. But he would go over and tell her all these bunch of different stories about, I couldn't come see you because your mother wouldn't. I couldn't do this because your mother wouldn't. Oh, your mother that. So I've gotten it, and that also brings the divisiveness, right? Because then you've now got this child going, who's telling the truth, mom or dad? Like, what's going on? Who do I believe? And, go ahead and have an argument with your teenage child, especially a daughter. Of course, she's got dad's side, and mom, everything dad said about mom is true. So I feel like, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. It can be the opposite way too. Moms can do that to the dad just as well. This is not anything I say, please.
You're stealing my thunder.
All right? Anything I'm saying out there, listen to me, Facebook people. Can go either way, man or woman. I am not discerning which gender role I'm talking about. I'm just talking from experience and talking from the heart, but it can go both ways. All right, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. There you go. I'm a sip.
Nah, that was good money. You guys seems like you got a lot off your chest right there. That's what we all about here, sharing ideas. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I want to get back to Lady E. You ready to talk? You ready? You not ready yet?
So I deal with the divisive and the narrative spinner all in one person.
They're usually two in the same.
Yeah, pretty much. But so my daughter's father, because that's the only one I really deal with. The other one I haven't seen in 6-7 years, whatever. But so he tells my daughter how, like, I don't want her. I left her. Like, I moved out of state with my husband. I fought for 2.5 years in court to try to get my daughter to move with me, and it didn't happen. And I was very, like, devastated for that. And that took a toll on my life, my daughter's life, my marriage. One of the reasons why it probably ended. But I just sorry, I can't concentrate right now.
No, they blasting music in there, huh? They getting lit. They litty tonight? You litty on Father's Day?
I guess they're trying to sabotage, but it's all good.
Every week,
never fails. So I have him in her ear talking about, she left you, she doesn't want you, all this stuff, and it hurt our relationship, my daughter and I's relationship, and it took many years to, like, build that back up, and now we're, like, closer than ever. And she also sees, like, mom's not like that. Like, dad's talking all this crap about mom, and she sees, like, I'm not that person, and she sees how he is, and she's not stupid, so she knows exactly what's going on. But to talk bad about the parent in front of the child is just so wrong and messed up, and it should definitely not happen at all. So if you're one of those parents that do that, please stop. Please.
Can you say that again, Lady E? Can you say that again? Please, I don't think
do not talk bad about the other parent in front of the child, because the child is not stupid, first of all, and if you're lying about the other parent in front of the to the child, of course, you know, they're gonna be like, well, mom doesn't act like that, or dad doesn't act like that, or do those things, so why are you saying those things? And then that just creates in the child's head, like, this person is a liar, or this person's lying to me, or trying to persuade me to not like my mom or not like my dad. And that's just, it messes up with the kid's head. So
yeah. Anything else you would like to say on that topic? We're gonna bring it up real quick. So you said you got the deadbeat and the narrative spinner. So no divisive, no guys in your life that's like, hey, well, I'm taking my kid for the weekend, and if you don't like it, blah blah blah. They try to manipulate you through the kids.
Well, who you asking?
About divisive.
I mean, when my daughter's father and I broke up, she was about 6-7 months old at the time. 13 now. So when we broke up, you know, we've been fighting for years, court back and forth. Like, he was the most stubborn person ever, you know, and he would just be like, I'm doing this, I'm gonna do this, and you can't say anything about it, and he would just take her. And I, you know, as a mother, like, when you take your newborn child or a 1-year-old from the mom, you know, and he's taking her God knows where, because I've heard so many horror stories, like, you will not believe. But
it gets real out there. This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. None of this is made up or fictitious. We did not see this on television. And thank you for sharing. Right now, I am going to let Black Earth, Lavender Suge Knight, talk your truth.
Mute me.
Oh, man, here we go.
Mother bomb.
I got the icon right by the microphone. Hey. Hey, man. Speak the truth.
So the person that the person has became, the parent now, is much different than the person was. So all the stuff that was talked about at that time was that person's truth. Regardless of how we shaping it now, that was who the person was. I'm not talking about you person. I'm talking about how my situation was. So when we put that list up there for a second, we'll dive in this real quick. Get dark.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. So deadbeat, check. Divisive, check. Narrative spinner, check. All of them, like all of them, and then some. So I dealt with a situation. Well, listen, you can read it in my book when it comes out. This chick, listen, I ain't gonna put her name out there because I was feeling some type of way a minute ago. Listen, didn't even want to be a parent, yo. I remember having to grab her out the bar while she was pregnant, and have to be up and drag her out the bar, like didn't even want to do it. Then the child gets here, then you want to run the streets, want to be out, get it. Listen, and the thing about it is, I worked and took care of her. And didn't have to work at all, not one time, but wanted to get a job and being like in the industry of like a bartending or serving and stuff like that. So an excuse for not to come home. Listen, I've been through all that. I've been manipulative. So when I had enough, because I stayed for my daughter, I wanted to, like, I didn't want to break up a family because of my kid. I was like, yo, I'm gonna rock this out because of my daughter. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Because when you do that, you dying inside. And then your child knows that you're unhappy, regardless of you saying you put on the front anyway. That goes to the point when I'm saying to you that even though you are working out and being all nice and stuff, your child just feel that tension when there's no love there. They see that shit, and regardless if you speak it or not. So moving forward, I just felt that I had to get away, so I had to do some shit. I filed for custody of my child, but I knew that she wouldn't go with me, or I could, anything. So I had to have her served. Oh. So I was at work. I said, yo, babe, there's a delivery from UPS coming. I need you to sign for the package. Open the door. I'm waiting for that. Come on in. So she called me. She said, yo, UPS is here. I'm like, oh, word? No doubt. Knocked on the door. Signed the paper. You've been served. So I'm like, it's a wrap. I knew that I was coming because I hated coming home, because it got to the point where we arguing about bullshit. I come from working all day and I'm taking care of the family. I gotta argue about some bullshit. I don't even want to do that. I want to take my students, watch some football, play a little Madden, and my home is supposed to be peaceful, and it wasn't. And so it got down to the point where she knew that when it came down to the situation that I was going to win the custody case because I was just who I am. And so she started planting like evil shit. The chick would beat herself with a fucking flat iron and then go there and file a report. And then like I had to go through a whole. Listen, I spent much time going legal dealing with officers and attorneys and paying big bucks to get out of bullshit claims that she made. And all along time, every time she tried to claim this stuff, I was somewhere, thank God, in public where they had videotape of me being at either the liquor store or in public figure somewhere I was when my lawyer was able to grab the tapes to show that none of this could even be possible because I was there. The judge saw that, threw it out. But what she did was she used the time that when she made these false claims and stuff like that to take my child and move out of state. She took it so that her mother was sick. No, hold up. The moment you sign it, you're not allowed to unless you have a extenuating circumstance of a family member sick or something like that. She used her mother's sick cancer to leave the state of Florida and go to the Kentucky.
You couldn't get a kidnapping.
I couldn't get my kid back, and I couldn't get. Listen, I fought it. I had to do all this stuff like that. I had to trick her into coming back, saying I want to be with her in order to get my daughter to come back to me.
Wow, bro.
I had to play that game. I've been through the gamut, so I know the ins and outs. I know what to do, what I had to do to get what I need to do. And I mean, it's fucked up because it's all because of being hurt. When you don't tell somebody you don't want them anymore, you don't want to be with them anymore, and you both know that it's the best because you're not going to change, and we all grow apart. Like, listen, I'm not going to go this shit any more time, you know. And then hurt several ends, and then you want to do things to hurt somebody back. It's vindictive. And
yeah. It definitely is, man. There's some shitty people out here in the planet, you know, that are all of the above, unfortunately, you know. And there you go, firsthand experience, you know. Jackson, how do you feel about it? The deadbeat, the divisive, and the narrative spinner.
Fortunately, I've only had to deal with the narrative spinner.
Okay.
No matter what the scenario was, she always put it on herself. Oh, you're treating me like this. My life is this way because of this. I'm like, stop. We got into a relationship. We were together all through high school, into college. We had a child. I'm there, you're there, but everything is still everyone else's fault. And she's just there. It's like, stop. No. Exactly. It's like, stop. Life happens. That's simple, that easy. Since life happens, we're in this together. Let's figure it out together. No, I don't want to be with you. This is all about me. You know, my life, this, my life. I'm like, at that point, cool, do your thing. Out of my 3 kids, that was the only one who put me on child support. Because in her eyes, everything fell on her. Okay, so be it. Okay, it's just like I said earlier. She was mad when when she got the papers, and I only had to pay $163 a month. She was salty. She was getting more than that every 2 weeks. And it's like, hey, you chose
I'm tight now.
But you know,
that is treacherous. What the fuck? 100 and what? A month?
I was paying $163 a month.
I'm tight.
He was cooking the books.
I'm
what you do when you got your own business?
No. Hold on.
How does that happen?
Hold
No. I'm out, y'all. You gotta break that down. How on
I know how he did it.
Did you roll off $150?
Wait a second.
How does that happen?
Real quick. Let's not get anybody indicted for false narratives right now.
I'm making this up.
This is purely speculation, but go ahead.
Okay.
Allegedly.
In my defense, this is for entertainment purposes only. So now, now it cannot come back on me. So check this out. The way it worked is what I was doing hourly multiplied by how many hours I worked per week. That was on one job. When she hit me up, I only had one job. Okay. Then she hit me up. I'm like, okay, obviously I need to get a second job. They didn't hit the second job because I was already current with the first one. By the time I started doing my own stuff, making even more money, I was still current. So they had no reason to go back and up it up. So that's why it stuck for 163 for God, like 12, 15 years. And then after that, it went to like 270. I was like, okay, that's fine.
You're my hero.
I still made out. My son still was fantastic. So
you're my hero. I just wanted to no one else say you're my hero.
That's me, yeah. He owns some treacherous pimp shit. I can think of
No, Jackson Bentley is different, bro.
No,
Incredible.
No. I'm just joking, man. At the end of the day, those are jokes. But wow, that is amazing. That's a great story. TJ, I'm gonna bring it to you.
$163 a month is a minimal cell phone payment. I'm just saying. Let's get that out the way.
facts.
Listen, I'm fortunate, man. I'm fortunate with my children, with my significant other. I don't have these deadbeat narrative devices. I've seen and heard it all.
Stories like you want to share some?
Yeah.
Of the
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Let's
Oh
get
my
into that.
goodness.
Let's get into that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I'm not going to name names to protect the innocent.
Of course. We're not rats around here.
You know, I know of women that have. This is going to sound filthy.
Let it out.
That have
Yeah, go.
faked abortions for money.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Disgusting. I know women that take their men and grind their asses on the coals, and they was with other men the whole time. Like the children might not even be theirs, type shit.
Been there.
Yeah. It's a messy world we live in. It's a messy world we live in.
I think we need a music break.
Yeah,
We do.
Yeah.
You got some. You got some good old pick me up because some OJs or something because whoo.
I might not be able to sleep at night. All right.
So he plays "Take It to the House."
Right.
Jesus Christ!
Wow. You trying to get the ladies moving on Father's Day, like.
He played trick. He played trick.
Hold on.
On
This is the
Father's
reason
Day.
why the child support exists right here. Right here, bro. This is why you in that situation. Cause you was up at that club. She was dropping that.
Hey, yo, I'm dead ass. Real sidebar. Whenever Fat Man Scoop come on in the club, it's time to get a drink. That's the time to get a drink, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. All right, but if I can touch up on this topic real quick, I've had and seen a little of all of it. I mean, shit. I've been arrested for child support. I can't tell you how many times I didn't have it. Once upon a time, I was a broke nigga. Another part of the time, I had a lot of money. I tell you what, though, like I'm owed arrears from that situation that I don't ask her for. You know what I mean? Like I'm owed thousands of dollars out of that particular situation. That it's whatever, man. My son loves the shit out of me. He's a grown ass man. Let bygones be bygones. You know what I mean? I don't really care about that. Have I seen deadbeats? Well, those same times I've been arrested for child support. I go there owing like 1,000 and some change, right? And there's another mother there that her kid, her baby daddy owes like $50,000 and $60,000. You know what I'm saying? The cops can't find him, but they found my black ass. I was just like, all right, this is a fucking joke. Like, what am I doing here, right? But whatever. The divisive, yes, I've seen women. Well, if you can't do this, you can't see your kids this, that. You can't see your kids that. You know, if you don't, no cursing around the kids. No one y'all be cursing up a storm in the house.
Fuck.
Can't see your kids. Yeah, real angry women. You know what I'm saying? Like very angry women. I haven't dealt with that aspect of things, but like I said, I'm sharing experiences. And then I know guys that get hit with the narrative spin. Things are going good. Child support is paid. They're on point with their visitations, but the girl is still hurt. So she's at a job like, oh, he ain't shit. He did this and that and that and this. And it's years later. It's like 6-7 years later. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, has a good relationship still with the pop, and he hears about it because she's shit talking dudes, two chicks that she wants to hang out with that he used to fuck back in the day. So they're coming back and telling him
Treacherous.
She's talking crazy about you on the low. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just, oh my god, like it gets crazy out there, man. Like y'all said, I don't have too much. What's up?
So, go ahead.
Hurt people. just
Yeah.
leave it there. Like, goodness.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Holy shit.
I think that emotion has a lot to do with all of the above in that relationship.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Either the deadbeat, the divisive, and the narrative spinner. He still got hurt feelings. It don't matter how long it's been, you know? It don't matter how long it's been. Like, the way you left their situation is going to affect how they treat you in the current.
Yeah.
Even if y'all say, hey, listen, we in it for the kids, yada yada. I'm gonna do my part and pay you this. I'm gonna pick him up or her up on this day, bring her back that day. That's my visitation day. Days, however y'all work it out. After you leave and she goes about her everyday life and starts that narrative spinning, that's because she's still hurt. That's because he's still hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually discovered, I won't say who was the source of the information, but it was a very reliable source. And I've been divorced since 2013. And yet in 2018, it was told to me that my ex-husband was miserable in the relationship he was currently in and was still in love with me. And, you know, kind of sums up where all that anger and hate comes from. Well, shouldn't have fucked that.
You hit him with
See,
the
a lot of motherfuckers want to fucking be like the grass is greener till it come time to mow the shit. And then now look at you, emotional.
I mean, the grass
upset.
might be greener, but it's hot
with that
outside.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been dealing with that for a long time because my daughter's father cheated on me the whole time I was pregnant with her.
What?
And then, and then after I had her, I still tried to make it work, and I couldn't. And you know, ever since then, he has been trying to get back with me, and I keep saying no. And even after my divorce last year, he was like, "Oh, you're moving back to Florida. Like, let's go on a date." And I was like, "No." So then, because I said no, now it's like, "Oh, you're not gonna have her all the time. You're not gonna be able to see her all the time. Only when I say so," and like all this stuff, you know. But
That's
before, it's like, "Oh, we want to date," or "I want to date you." But now that I'm saying no, it's like, now that like I'm gonna be controlling and I'm gonna tell you when you can see your daughter and when you can't and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Let me tell you, can I say something to that?
That sounds like a lot of emotion. What's up, Chrissy?
Can I say something to that? Everybody who's watching, if you are in a situation where the other parent, I'm not going to say mom or dad, just the other parent is keeping your child from you, I need you to go file a motion in this state and county that your child lives in, because you have legal rights. There is no full custody unless you give up your custody. There is custodial custody and non-custodial custody. Okay, you cannot, unless you give up your rights, you have 50% rights to that child in making education decisions, medical decisions, and religious decisions. Okay, that doesn't matter whether you have provided financially or not. Okay, I would implore you to go ahead and help the situation financially, because it will only look better on your behalf. But I need each parent who is not being able to see their child to not walk away and say, "Well, fuck it. It's too much. It's too much work." That is half your DNA walking in there. That is half your heart beating inside that body. Okay. I need you to do your part to make sure that you are a part of that child, because we need to do this so that we can have a better environment. You know,
what are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep going on, man. But just listen. Go ahead and file your motions. They're like $50 to file. But go ahead.
Before you file, make sure your rules in your state, because every state is different. Every state is different.
So what state doesn't allow you?
No, because you're not. Because a lot of states, there are states that automatically, when the child is born, the woman has the custody until it's determined in the court of law.
So then you go to court and put in you go into the court and you put in a motion for paternity.
You have to not a motion. You have to file for custody, and you have to file for your rights. Because remember, I was telling you I was getting custody. I got custody of my kids. Well, I got custody of my kids in different states, not even in New York, in Florida and Tennessee. Tennessee, back there, I'm still fighting for the right of my own daughter. They gave me rights to her brother, which is not my biological child, before they gave me rights to my own daughter. I'm still fighting that, and it's been 3 years. That every state is different. It's about you got to find out whatever rules and the magistrate go there, and there is somebody that's a free counselor that can walk you through the laws of your state presiding and how you can go about getting your time for being a parent. And Florida is automatically shared custody now because they just introduced that in 2010, and that's when I got custody of my daughters out of Florida, my oldest and my youngest.
Well, I need y'all to be like Black, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all hear how informative this shit is?
That's what I need y'all to be. You need to do the work. You need to do the work, regardless of what the work is.
Also, let me say this another thing. This is for the men because I know this personally. In October of every year, it is men's month. They help you with free legal counsel, the pro bono work to help you get custody of your children, help you figure out your situation. It's legal month is October every year for men, that people that cannot afford, say they can't, like, you can't afford to get a regular attorney. People do pro bono work. They'll help you out with your cases, so they can at least get you visitation rights with your kid. Also, there's a website you can go to YouTube. It's called the Admiral Amin Osiris, I believe it is. I'll post it in our fan page, where he actually helps with you. You contact him. He's not a lawyer per se, but he's a paralegal, and he can help you get custody or help you get back to zero with that if you have a high child support, so you guys can work it out between two parents, so that y'all can you made the kid together in privacy, keep it in private until I get the court out of it.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear how informative this podcast is? Not only do we provide entertainment. Whew.
Yeah, TJ. I'm Father MC, man. I'm not King Clips tonight. Celebrating this special edition.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Episode number 3, man. Now, this next topic is going to get probably a little messy. I don't know if we're going to keep it clean on this one.
Hold on.
But let's jump right into it. I'm going to start light first, and then we're going to go around the room. So, Axel, are daddy issues real thing?
God damn it.
I've met many women with daddy issues. Many women with daddy issues. But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand what daddy issues are. Okay? Okay, when I say I've met women with daddy issues, it's this. They need a positive role model in their life that the father should have occupied that space, but wasn't there. So they're hopping from man to man trying to find that one to be that positive role model. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen because a man trying to sleep with you and a father figure are not the same. They're not the same standards. Okay, so I've met many of women having daddy issues. Okay, may it be that 30-year-old woman that in her profession. Me, I'm 45. She comes up to me like, "Hey, I really like this daddy look. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the other." Okay, you got daddy issues, but I'll be happy to entertain you. It's a couple of cocktails, not a commitment. Okay, I'm keeping it.
There you go. There you go.
Might have to put a little TM after that.
Yeah, you have to trademark that one, Jackson.
Hey, Jackson, you got something on your shoulder. You got something on your shoulder. Brush that off him, bro.
So yeah, it's like that's what I've come to realize daddy issues are. But and all jokes aside, it stems deeper than that. But once again, every individual is different. Different women have different daddy issues. Okay, but on the same note, I know boys who have daddy issues. Okay, they didn't have one in their lives to show them the direction that they need to go. So it's not just on women; it's on men too. So that's all I got to say about that. Oh, hold on.
Jackson's getting my vote for Denver. He's getting my vote for Denver.
Well, I'll tell you what, TJ. I'm glad you said that because we're going to you first and see you next, man. You know what I'm saying? Our daddy issues a real thing.
Yeah, I would like to change the title of daddy issues because that's a big umbrella, right? It could be a bunch of things. It could be a fill in the void issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times that's what happens, right? Like and I can only speak on me personally, right? You don't have somebody in your life that was supposed to be there for you, care for you, protect for you, provide for you, and love you unconditionally. So now you're traveling through life looking for the best way to fill that void, whether it be random dick, random food, random attention. You know what I mean? Like it could turn into a bunch of messy different things, but you have to understand nobody really wants to do the work on themselves and get to the exact nature of why they are the way they are, right? I know exactly why I'm a special type of fucked up, right? And I know exactly why I am the way I am. You know what I mean? Like people don't want to do the work on themselves. Like I completely, yeah. I think there's mommy issues too.
That's why.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear, because I went through my entire life. I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm a 40-year-old man right now that went through my entire life because I'm a product of adoption, right? So for my entire life, I had the biggest grudge against the woman that was supposed to love me. Like, why don't you love me? So now everybody that crossed my paths that try to love me, I'm not fucking with you. You gotta do some jumping jacks, some somersaults, some backflips. You gotta be able to cook, clean, or do all kinds of magnificent shit, and I'm still not gonna love you.
Spitter, we love you.
You know what I mean?
Spitter, we love you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Black Earth. Thank you.
So hold on. It's so funny that Spitter is talking about mommy issues. So that right there is called the Oedipus complex.
Oedipus, I was about to say it. Come on in, doctor. Come on in, doctor.
Listen, I was gonna drop it, but I don't know if everybody's ready for 3 syllables and 1 word and it be a verb at the same time.
Everybody seen Baby Boy.
Learn them something.
Listen, he said everybody seen Baby Boy.
Oh man.
So I have you were done. Yeah. So I have my take on it.
No. I want to go to Lady E next, and I will bring the topic right back up. Also, comments. How do y'all feel out there that are watching this podcast right now? Ask yourself, are daddy issues a real thing? And do you know what it actually means? Now, I'm going to spin right to Lady E. We'll get to you, Chrissy. You and Mike Earth got a lot of nice energy tonight. And I want y'all to reel us in at the end, all right? So you're going to go with Lady E. What you got to say about this topic right here?
I want to say that, yes, it is a real thing. There is such thing as daddy issues, and there is such thing as mommy issues. I did not have the best situation growing up. I had 3 different dads growing up, and so I was already, my real dad wasn't there for me. I mean, he was there, but not really. And then I had a second dad who was kind of in the picture, but I don't really remember him because I was really little. And then he passed away. And then my mom remarried again while I was in middle school and high school. He was very, very abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally. And, my mom just allowed it to happen because I guess I was a problem child.
There's no excuse for it. I'm not to stop you right there, but we are not doing that today. There's no excuse for any type of abuse.
No excuse. I know that now, but that was their reasoning, like I was a curious child and I was, I wanted to know things and whatever. But yes, that it took me many, many years to overcome what happened to me as a child. And, I had a lot of anger issues growing up, daddy issues. So it took me like a really long time to get over that thing, that part of my life. But it also taught me, what I want for my kids and how I want to treat my kids and be there for them. Like, be the person that I needed when I was a kid. So I would never put my kids in a situation how I was in, never, ever. So, it's definitely a thing. I went from guy to guy, just like Jackson was saying. Mostly older men, just because I was trying to look for that.
That's what I was about to get to. Yeah.
Can I real fast and not to cut you off, because I just want to know. Did you find what you were looking for?
Nope.
Okay.
Hold up. You got one more daddy left.
Oh, shit. Of course you would.
Shameless fucking plug. My goodness.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Hey, what happened? Hey, you think you're gonna be messy tonight? I want some of that energy, but go ahead, Lady E. Keep telling your truth, man. Because I was gonna touch on that actually about the younger ladies dating older men. As a result of that issues. Like, let's go, E.
Yeah. I mean, my advice to you is look at yourself, figure out what you need, just work on yourself as an individual. Don't go looking and searching for other things to fulfill your needs that were not met when you were a child or when you were younger. It's not going to happen. So just focus on yourself, be your own person, be strong, overcome your obstacles. If you need to talk to somebody, that's great. But don't go searching outside of what it is, because you're not going to find it. And even I have mommy issues too, because my mom was never there for me either. So I mean, but I also met a lot of people over my years growing up who have also become that mom figure for me, like my friends' moms or my friends' dads. And that also taught me, like, this is the kind of person that I want to be as a mom. Or they set very, very good examples as to what a mother or a father should be for somebody, or an adult, even just being an adult in general. But they did teach me a lot of things. So it's like, I'm not hurt, I'm not upset, it just happens. It happens that way. This is the life I was dealt. I overcame it, and I am a very stronger, better person because of it. So,
oh baby, just rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat.
Well,
I'm gonna go to.
Hold up. I was gonna go here though. I was gonna go here.
Yeah, let's get a nice musical. Ooh. All right, let's take a couple of seconds to rock out on Father's Day.
I got to chime in for 1.2 seconds. That's it. Okay, fellas, it's summertime right now. Don't let a $10 summer dress cost you $70,000 in child support.
Okay?
What you saying about my summer dress?
Now you have take my money,
Man,
my house, and my car.
Okay, you see this woman right here? This right here will cost you everything. Look at the way she looks, looking all good and stuff. Man, fellas, be careful out there. That's all I.
This is why I bring the towel. I wave the towel in situations like this.
Y'all feel the energy, right? Y'all feel that energy right there, man. So, Christy.
Hold on. I need a sip.
While she sips that, let's be clear. Okay. Can I be clear about something? Can I give my disclaimer real quick? While everybody indulges in their favorite drink, that's why I bring my gourmet ice pops, because I do not choose to indulge in drinks. I bring ice pops. So y'all aware.
Stay sober, slow controller.
Thank you for that compliment, Jackson. I will take it.
Oh, absolutely.
Will she?
Chrissy,
look, I'm sweating. My dome.
I know. I see you. He got you nice and hot and bothered.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Look,
here comes the Nelly.
I don't even know what to say, but
I know what to say. Our daddy. Oh no.
Is it on me now?
Yeah, it is. Okay. Our daddy issues are a real thing.
So I do believe daddy issues are a real thing. And I think a lot of people think of the daddy issues as in, you see the younger girl dating the older guy because she's looking to fill that void, like everybody else said here. But I got a different twist on it. My daddy issues are a little bit different. My father was present here and there. He was in and out. But for the most part, he was there. But for the first 7 years of my life, he was consistently there. My mom and my dad were together for the first 7 years. Of my life. But my dad would beat the shit out of my mother. And I saw that as a kid. I saw that coming up. And you know who I was more mad at?
Who's that?
My mother. for staying. I was more mad at my mother for staying. And when I look back retrospectively and look at it, I am so much of a fighter. And like, I'm not going to take this bullshit and I'm not going to take that bullshit. And no, you can go here and no, you can go to hell and take a trip down, whatever, take a short, long walk off a short pier, like all of that. And when I think about it, as I was sitting here thinking about it, those are my daddy issues because that stems back to my mother allowing that behavior to happen. And she wasn't that strong woman to stand up for herself and say, I'm not taking this no more. So for me, I'm so dominant and I'm so, like I'm not taking shit from nobody. And that's my daddy issue that I stem back from. So it's not always it doesn't always manifest in the younger woman, older man. It can manifest in so many other ways, depending how you look at it. And our past is always a prediction of our future. So,
okay.
And that's my take on it. So yes, daddy issues, mommy issues, a whole bunch of issues are a real thing.
All right, so Big Black Earth. Now that you heard that, I need you to say your piece, man. Are daddy issues a real thing or not?
I have nothing on that.
Yo, he's special.
Man, this man.
You got nothing on that.
The song was there for him.
I'll leave it like this. So, daddy issues, I think it's an excuse. It's an excuse.
He just want to fight tonight. He just want to fight.
Talk about it.
We all have our traumas, right? And we can't let our traumas hold us down. Like we can't hold it back. It's how we get past that. Because listen, we go through a lot of shit in life as just being a human being. We can't let a situation determine who we are when it comes at the end of the day. We have to work through all our problems that we go through. Some people's path are more difficult than the other. But when you cop out and say daddy issue, that's just giving you a label for another disease that doesn't exist. It's something that just goes on. It may be an issue in your life.
Yeah. Time out. That was fucking bars. That was bars, bro. Rewind that. Run that back, man. Run that back.
Well, but sometimes
I'm gonna say when you're a child and you're dealing with that stuff, you're not gonna think on that level yet. Okay, you don't think as a child. I mean, for me as a child, I didn't listen to the things that my stepfather said to me because I knew I was better than what he said. But there's a point in time in your life when you get to that level, what you're talking about, and I agree with you on that. But when you're a child dealing with that, you don't think on that level yet.
I'm not trying to minimize your pain or your suffering and things you went through. Don't get me twisted. I'm not trying to say that at all. What I'm saying is what you're dealing with is called life. It's light, and it's what it is sometimes it's. I see. Put your hand up. Listen. The collection plate. The collection plate is going around. You can put you want the things that sold, but
he said you can pay your tithes in 10 minutes.
Listen, it's about trauma, and we all have trauma that we go through in life. It's how we get back up that makes us the person, the characteristic we are. We can let that moment in time where you have been beat down, you've been taught you wasn't shit and abused, and you can let that, you can say that's all it is, and I'll never be more than an abused person, or you can rise above it. It takes work. It's not easy. I'm not saying that path is easy. I'm saying that it's out there. It's not like, listen, I'll let you go ahead because I'll dive in. We'll be here for a minute. We'll be here for hours. But
before it goes back to Lady
you're right though. You're right. Like you can't just go your whole life thinking like that you're what somebody told you that you were. You have to rise above that. You have to live your life for you. You have to know that you are worthy to be here and do the things that you want to do with your life, no matter what anybody says about you or thinks about you. So, yes,
but you have to have the tools. Here's the problem. You have to, be cognizant to acknowledge that that's the issue. Acknowledge that you need help with that situation and have the tools to repair it. If you don't have those things, you're going along with these issues, not cognizant that it is an issue. You're continuing the pattern and the same behavior over and over again, and nobody's helped out and said, hey, you might have a daddy issue. I'm gonna need you to go see a therapist, all right? or I'm going to go need you to get assistance. So there has to be, just like with addicts, right? You have to first acknowledge that there is a problem to even receive the help. So on that part, while I completely agree with everybody on this, with Black and Lady E, on the fact that you do have to be able to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and move on, you still have to have the ability and the intelligence to acknowledge that it is a problem.
So, Chrissy, do you think this will tie into what we were talking about, mental issues and having the exact tools? Because we're talking about damage. You're damaged.
It's trauma, PTSD.
Absolutely. Like when you sit in that chair and you talk to a therapist, they're going to ask you about your life, your past, and everything else. That's how they diagnose you. So if you do, in fact, have daddy issues, wouldn't you seek help for that? Or, I mean, if it's going to have a long-lasting effect on how you live your life down the line, you know, where you're seeking older men.
I think everybody can benefit from sitting down with a counselor or a therapist at some point in their life.
Absolutely.
Just because of day-to-day stress, and if you're not taught the skills on how to cope with stress. I mean, you know, me being a nurse, we have to do psychology 101. So I've had a couple of these courses, and if you don't have the skill or the mindset to acknowledge that, I think everybody, even if they think I don't need it, and I gotta tell you, and I'm not trying to say anything, but a lot of our Black community do not believe in therapy.
And therapy, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And it's not anything to be ashamed of at all whatsoever. And we all can, therapists even sit down with other therapists. So, and I know I got my social worker on here somewhere, Stephanie. I saw her earlier, so you could chime in too. But I absolutely, believe that. I believe everybody, there's no such thing as normal. Not normal is normal, right? That's the only thing that's normal. So we can all benefit from, I'll tell you, I have my kids in therapy because of their daddy issues, and I started them from young. But I'll tell you, I'll take the first half an hour for me and then be like, oh, my bad. Here's the kid. And then I go off. So we all could, use that.
I don't believe in therapy either. I'll just put that out there as well.
Why not?
I believe that most of the times, in order to diagnose a problem, they're using a formula. It's like doing science. It's like you're working in science. So you're working with an equation and you're trying to get to a point where you're not even knowing that person. I can tell you something all day, whether that's honesty or not is true. Me giving you the full scope of the story, you're not gonna get the full perspective unless you know me.
Well, that's true, but here's the thing: and correct me if I'm wrong. Are you looking at it on a level of when you want to get a diagnosis? You don't need to see a therapist to get a diagnosis. No. It's sometimes good to sit with a person that's not biased and be able to tell your truth and just spill it and say, I feel like this. There goes my social worker. There she goes. Yeah. So, to sit there and be able to get something off your chest where you don't feel comfortable with a friend or a family member, with the stuff. I'm a hospice nurse. There are times that I've got to call Stephanie and tell her about how I'm feeling after a patient. Yeah. I can't talk about that with a family. I can't talk about that with a friend. So I'm not talking about getting a mental health diagnosis. I understand what you mean about that. I'm just talking about day-to-day life and stress.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I'm speaking about in period because that's why I keep an eclectic group of friends, because there's people I can be 100% honest with that I can just talk to. I have, as you can see on this podcast and me talking to y'all, I have no qualms about telling my whole story. I have no problem letting out because your opinion of me does not define me.
Okay, Black. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I'll be honest with you. I've done many a podcast, and those podcasts are my therapy because you're talking to the people in the group. You're also talking to everyone else willing to listen and give their opinion. It is a form of therapy. So for you to say you don't believe in therapy, but then come on and say, hey, that's why I do this podcast.
No, I didn't say no. I didn't say that. I said I have a collective group of friends that I talk to. I said by you guys hearing me on this podcast, you see that I don't hide anything. I put my shit out there open, but it's not. But it's not the podcast.
Form of therapy. That's still a form of therapy,
but not the podcast. I said to you, I don't believe in going to see someone. That's what there's difference of that. I don't have to sit down with someone because my when I was talking about it is me sitting down explaining my life to someone. I was talking directly to a person because we were talking about seeing a psychologist.
Let's check this out. Black. I've hung around. You know who I'll be with, right? Like shouts to all of them. Did you know that like maybe 4 of us have seen a therapist at one point or another, and myself included?
Yeah, because you told me. Yeah,
and it's done wonders for us. There's no shame in seeking professional help. That doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong with you. It means you have to find something that's you're unhinged. Like I'm not saying you personally,
yeah.
But I'm saying I saw something in myself that wasn't right,
Mm-hmm.
and I recognize that. I know that I can't sit down with my friends and trust them enough to give me. I mean, they're gonna give me all of the love, but I need to know. Like people will talk over each other. We do that all the time here on the podcast. We talk over each other. We debate shit. We go back and forth. That's not necessarily working through a problem. Sometimes you need people to just sit there and listen to you and are able to decipher what's going on in your life so that you can see. Because sometimes we can't even see what's going on with us.
Yeah, it takes for you having perspective. Let me respond to that because that's why I started my comment and said I don't believe in. Not saying that you shouldn't believe in. Not saying that it doesn't work for anyone. I'm telling you, me. And I had this conversation with actually. Shout out to Real Doc V. We had this conversation.
That's cheating though, because she's a real therapist. At the end of the day, she's a real therapist, so she can diagnose you. You know
yeah, but my thing was, I tell you, like I told her, I didn't believe in there. It's just for me because I got to the point where, how do I say this without sounding
you can't say it.
I'm at a point where I know me. I know my fuck ups. I know who the fuck I am, and I know what I'm doing, and I understand me, and I know I don't just do shit for just out of no reason. I just blind rhyme a reason. I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I know how I go about doing it. And I understand that when my actions are fucked up, still when I even choose to do this shit. I'm saying I have a self-knowledge of myself. I don't know how I can put it any clearer. Like I'm in tune with myself to know.
So you've reached Maslow's hierarchies of self-actualization?
Yeah, I know I'm an asshole. And I know that I can be one.
I mean, I know that too. I know that definitely identify.
And I know the reason why I do.
Who the fuck I am. But at the same time, I know that that's not cool. I know that that's toxic as hell.
But you know why you
know what I have to do to exclude myself from those kind of situations to where nothing volatile will happen. You know, I mean, like I told you before, I have people come up to me and tell me shit about my past that I don't even fucking remember. They're like, yo, back in the day, you did blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what? Shit, TJ we was just on a conference call this week. And he was like, yo, we got a joint together, like a rap song. I did not even fucking remember that. I'm dead ass. Wasn't trying to play you with nothing. I don't.
Yeah, but memory
took me later on to be like, oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, but memory does not tie. Hold up, memory is not tied into mental health.
That I don't remember, and
sure
I don't know if
regression is a form of self-preservation.
You know what I'm saying?
Not forgetting things. If you forget things, doesn't mean does not mean that you need to. I mean, maybe that works for that in your case, but just because you forgot something doesn't mean that like, oh, listen, I need to talk to someone.
I'm not saying because you forgot your keys on a coffee table and you don't remember they were there, but there's certain things in your past that because it's so traumatizing, you no longer remember that actually happened or the events that. Okay.
Let me jump in real quick. I hate to interrupt you. Let me hop in real quick because I've been with a lot of women and I don't remember all their names. Does that mean that that's a traumatized thing?
No, but it could be a self-preservation thing. And I'm not saying that you're traumatized, that you didn't remember their names because it was just about the ass. It wasn't about remembering their names.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't something.
You're taking I'm talking about regression of a memory. I'm not talking about purposely forgetting a bitch's name. Like that's not what I'm saying.
We've reached that segment of the show.
I'm so bad with names.
So you're right, Chrissy. You're right.
Can I chime in, please?
Go ahead.
Oh no, hold on. This is shout out right here. Yeah, shout out to Sean. I wish you would say you don't remember drinking Zima at 5 a.m. No, I don't. Fuck out of here.
What up, Sean? That's my guy right there.
You know, we just going completely deny that, Sean. I ain't fuck out of here, B. Yeah,
What up,
but
Sean?
getting back to this mental health thing, man, because it definitely ties in with daddy issues. When I was trying to translate everyone's thoughts onto the topic matter for tonight, my daughter sat next to me. This is Father's Day Eve, Father MC, right? I'm doing this, and she was telling me about a friend. And her friend pretty much grew up with no dad. And I remember hearing this story like a few years back. So she was telling me about it again. And I'm like, how is she? I remember you telling me this. She's 14 years old. I think she must have first told me when she was like 9, you know? And she's a great student, does great at school. But a lot of people want to hit her with a lot of boys walk around like, oh, you got daddy issues, right? And they have no idea what daddy issues mean. And until she got into this story about her friend again, and no dad in her life. I think he was there for a few years, but he was pretty abusive and pretty much just didn't give his daughter any form of encouragement, validation at all. And so she talks to my daughter about it. And, you know, that's her therapist, I guess, for the moment. I don't know if she seeks professional help or what, but she actually had to move in because something happened to her mom. And she had to move in with a whole nother family that was like really good. It's a real horrible story. It's a horror story. And she looks up to her friend's mom as mom now. And her self-esteem is just like shit. You know? And she was like, Dad, that's the real meaning of daddy issues. That's what daddy issues mean. And I said, all right, that's going to be one of the topics for tomorrow. You know? Because it's real, man. Like, you have to, like Jackson was saying earlier, you have to be there. But here's the thing. Like when my daughter made an honor roll and the town hall came together at a school, I was there and I cheered her on and we took pictures together. And I can't be more proud of my daughter. I don't know how many days a week I tell my daughter, I am so proud of you. You are the shit. Like, wow. We just got to work on your attitude sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You just got to work on your attitudes. I want you to be a good person. You're the shit. Like, you know this. You're on top of your game. And my daughter talks shit, like, even with her peers, like, yeah, they be talking crazy, but I get better grades than them, so whatever. You know, and I'm like, word, like, yeah, it's the kind of confidence you have to build in your kids at the end of the day. And, you know,
absolutely.
If you're not there, then yes, your kid is going to get daddy issues, man. You know, you have to take specific time out of your life on all levels and pay attention to your kids. Like, all right, even with another example, here we go with the clock watch, right? We're over here trying to build a brand. I find myself being overwhelmed sometimes. So, I took a time out and just was like, you know what, fuck this. I need 3 hours with my kids. And played with them, I swear to God, for like 3 hours straight. Like, we had so much fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm like throwing them around the house. My wife called 3-hour break. And as my son is a sucker, so he's like crying because he'll want to be up under his mother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, nah, fuck that. You chilling with me. You forgot how fun daddy is. You know what I mean?
Okay, Chris, I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
What's up, bro?
It seems like TJ has something to say because I could see it in his eyes. It's like,
Yeah.
What's up, TJ?
37 minutes and 26 seconds. Not that I've been counting. We've walked around this panel and discussed daddy issues, right? But we do it in such a minimal way to where it's almost a fucking joke. To where there's not, like, if I'm telling you about somebody that's sticking a needle in his arm for the last time and he wants to die and he's going to keep doing it until he dies, we take that shit dead serious. But we're not taking the woman that has had 65 sexual partners in the last 4 weeks serious.
4 weeks, goddamn. Go ahead, sorry.
Listen,
TJ, that's what we doing though. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like the same way, like, we treat other facets of mental health. stop with the fucking labels of daddy issues. You know what I mean? The severity has to be there, because at the end of the day, we're only hurting ourselves down. And I agree with Christina, and I agree with Black, because I don't think everybody's for everybody, right? Until you find that perfect person.
So you're saying daddy issues to females are like junkie to drug addicts.
Yeah. Thank you.
Say that then. Say that then. Oh.
Thank you. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. You could call me a junkie, right? You could call me a junkie, and I'll own that shit. And then I'll tell you how I'm the most winning coach in the sports rec team that I coach. I got a key to the city. That I've done everything that you told me I couldn't fucking do, because just like Black said, it's about having wherewithal with yourself and knowing what the problem was. But I had a bunch of help along the way. I have a great support system, right? Chrissy's a part of the support system. My wife is a huge part of the support system. My kids, right? Like you said, be there for your kids. My kids have no idea how much they save my fucking life every day. Like, let's just be clear. You know what I mean? And not the Charlie Clips, and not the Charlie Clips the segment and wild out, but like, if we're talking about mental health and we're talking about these are things and these are triggers and these are signs, like, we need to take the shit equally as serious. You know what I mean?
Listen here, I'm gonna say this to any dad that's catching us late right now. If you're catching us on YouTube right now, tomorrow or during the week, yo, be there for your kids overall, period. Like, we're not just gonna say like daddy issues then. Let's talk about all of your kids. Let's talk about your sons. Let's talk about your daughters, so they won't grow up with these insecurities.
Yo, be your kids' biggest fan, man.
Like I said earlier in the podcast, man, like, I'm being a father on the fly, because I didn't learn how to be a father. I don't know what it is
to be a
father. So I am on the fly with my shit right now. You know, I visited my dad in Rikers Island. I said that earlier. You know what I mean? Yeah, pictures. I have old pictures on my Facebook shit of me at 5 years old posing jailhouse pose with my pops with a backdrop. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about being in your kid's life. If you like, come on, man, y'all can't raise these kids that's gonna turn out mentally scarred or bruised, or just because. And it's a lot of reflecting, it's a lot of deflecting going on, because you think it's cool because you grew up that way, that's how you treat your kids. No,
you gotta break the cycle.
No, D.
Can I chime in here and say that I want to add to this whole part of it, this whole facet of it, that not only is it the ones, we don't only need to talk to the ones that are walking away from their children. Right. We need to talk to the parents that are purposefully and manipulatively keeping their children away from that other parent, thinking they don't need them, I'm enough. You are not
share
enough.
That shit, Chrissy. Share it.
You are not enough. Okay, this child needs both parents. Mm-hmm. A daughter needs to understand a man's role and a woman's role, and please don't take that any way. I'm not trying to, there are specifications to each gender. Okay, yeah. And a son needs to understand where a woman, and let's put it like that, where a woman and a man stands, okay? And this is what nurtures the child as a whole. So when you think you're doing something good by keeping that child from the other parent, and notice I'm not saying which one, mom or dad, just when you are hurting your child in the end, whether you like that person or not. At one point in your life, you like them enough to lay with them, okay? So there was something about them that allowed you to lay down and fornicate with this person. Okay.
She said fornicate.
Fornicate, yes, with this person. So I need you to understand the harm and the damage you're doing to your child. You are not any better than the other one who's not there. Okay.
And to go off of what you're saying right now, let's be clear. Black situation is very unique. You know what I mean? Like, very unique.
Well, I don't know. My dad got custody and my brother got custody of their kids. So it's very familiar to me.
For you, you talk to 10 men out there that aren't Black or aren't Charlie or Jackson or myself. It's hard to find a man that has custody of all of his kids.
Yeah,
right?
I'm Charlie now. Yeah, don't call me Charlie. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Father.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, Father MC. That's
Thank
my apologies.
Appreciate
But let's
it.
be clear too. On the other hand, we have to set examples for what our kids see, because if me and my wife are fighting every day, my son's going to think it's acceptable to treat a woman that way, and my daughter's going to think it's acceptable to get verbally beat down every day. You know what I mean? Like,
let me walk into the door right here real quick. Let me touch up on this. Basically, what Christy was saying, a lot of this she's saying is 100% correct, because even though like me, like my baby mother put me through some shit, like some shit. Like I'll tell you your stories later, but I mean some shit. And I felt a certain way about her, no matter how. And my daughter, as my daughters got older, I had to deal with going to get like the period and all the other stuff like that. Like, damn, I gotta go to CVS. I'm like, damn, I'm calling my people. I'm calling because I have a foundation of people, women that I deal with that are in my daughter's life that can help them, that can go to and call if they need them, because their mother's not living in the same state that I live in. But the thing about it is that I made it a point to, when I make family vacations, to make sure that the mother's involved. So we went to Colorado when I went to go see my boy JB out there, and I went to see my boy Wes. I went to see all my people out in Colorado. I paid for the hotel, we had separate rooms, and I had the kids stay with her. So I wanted my kids to create memories with their mother, so they would actually have these things to look back on, even if they forget all the rest of the shit. Regardless of how me and her felt about each other, I was big enough to realize that it was more about them than it was about me. Like I told you before, I'd let my kids know, me and your mother don't get along all the time. It's not about me and your mother. It's about your relationship with your mother. I'd rather you have the relationship with her, whatever, and don't confuse what me and your mom go through with you and what your mom has to. And no matter how, listen, we went through some shit, but it was more important for my daughters than it meant the world to me than anything else. So they still have a relationship with them.
Yep. I think that time is a good time to get into our most favorite topic whenever we are on. Man. Canceled, man. Canceled. It has been an exhausting week. I know y'all gotta get some shit off your chest. Who we got? I'm looking around the room right now. Who should I start with? I'm gonna go with Lady E. Who would you like to cancel this evening?
I knew it. The people that always want to try to sabotage me.
Oh, I heard the Nelly playing. It was getting hot in there. It was getting hot.
I'm just surprised the Wi-Fi is still on, actually.
I got that.
We need to get you a jetpack. A little Verizon jetpack. You won't have no problem.
You know shit.
But yeah, I just want to cancel those two people. I'm not going to name names, but y'all know who they are. Just very petty, immature. Like, you're older than me, and there's no reason you should be acting like you're still in high school. Just
you don't want to put their name out there, yo.
You don't want to put Eddie Kruger's name out there?
Yeah, you don't want to put them on blast. You got the platform, yo. Speak to your fans right now so they can go.
Let me handle my business, and then I'll put their name out there.
Smart move.
All right, so I'm gonna go to Chrissy. What would you like to cancel?
I'm gonna do something a little bit different that y'all didn't expect. I am actually canceling the cancel for today because I want to give a big up to each one of you on this panel. I would like to first start with TJ, and I want to say that I know him personally, and he is a phenomenal and amazing father. Not only is he amazing and phenomenal to his own children, but he is also to the children of the community. He does so much work with everybody out there. He is present, he shows up, and he does what they need him to do. Not only to the kids in the community, but also to my boys. And you may not remember or think that I remember, but I remember that special trip you made for my son. Yeah. So,
all right.
Love, okay? Black. You. Okay? I want everybody here I salute you for being an amazing dad. I've only known you for a short period of time, but I feel the love, I feel the passion, I feel the care. Not too many men out here are like that. So for that, I salute you. Clips,
Thank you.
So,
okay? For you, we had our little last week, but I still got love for you. But
no doubt. No
I
doubt.
can tell that you are the provider and protector of your family. Okay, and your
We're
kids
not gonna go
need
that
that.
far. My wife definitely does her part.
Listen, of course, behind every great man is a even better woman. Okay,
Exactly.
so but I still
I don't know about
applaud
that.
you.
He just want to fight.
Situations, in certain situations, but I applaud you and I salute you for being a great dad. And last and most certainly not least, Jackson, I've had the opportunity to talk with you about your children, and I see it's genuine and authentic, the love that you have for them. And for that, I give you a salute. So I just want to wish you guys a very happy Father's Day. And you all deserve a round of applause.
I like how she spun this segment. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank
All
you.
right.
We went to bullshit here at Clockwatch, so Jackson, well, you can't see
Sorry.
it, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What you got?
Oh, it's on me now. Okay. I want to cancel the cats who talk shit because they want to hate on you because they don't see what you're doing.
Facts.
Okay. It's like during COVID and the pandemic, I have locked it down. I've made so many moves in silence where it's like, hey, I'm not the guy who's going to tell you, look at what I'm about to do. It's more like, stop, look what I've done. Okay. And because cats didn't know what I was doing, I got my ear to the streets. Oh, yeah, I think old boy's broke. He's this, he's that. I've made when I mean a killing over these last 90 days, I've asked Chrissy, we already talked. I've made a killing. And I've made moves that are like steps above others right now. So it's like, I definitely want to cancel those out. The ones who talk shit because they can't follow you because you're moving in silence. You're getting things done at your pace.
Right. And TJ, who you canceling, brother?
Whew. Well, first we're gonna cancel John Prada. We're gonna get him the fuck out of here. I don't got no. Listen, I'm naming names, bitch. You can call me. I have no time for racist, ignorant, entitled anything. Don't miss me with some of my friends are black and then explain how racist you are. I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh, no.
Okay? We're going to get that the fuck out the way real quick. Second cancel is, what my mother had gotten pregnant at 15, right? And my father split, and I have no idea who he is. You know what I mean? To the point where I'm going to do a 23andMe because I got some questions that need answers to. The afro and the bell pepper nose and my corporate complexion that don't all match with each other. You know what I mean? And my blue eyes. We're gonna figure this out. So we're gonna get him the fuck out of here too. And, but then I also want to big up all y'all too as well. And like Chrissy said, like the reason why I'm fortunate and blessed enough to do all the shit that I do is because God saw it fit to spare my life when I wanted to die, first and foremost. And secondly, I got the strongest woman in the world behind me that has taught me how to love unconditionally. It's wild when a woman teaches you how to be a man. But it is what it is. I'm all for calling a spade, right? Let's be clear. And for that, I'm forever grateful. You know what I mean? I got nothing but strong people in my life. And I keep it that way because just like Jackson said, I don't say nothing that I'm going to do. I never say it. You know what I mean? I'd much rather show you the picture of me holding the key to the city and then let you hate on that. Or I'd much rather pop, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I keep hearing you talk about this key to the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we going?
Oh, let's be clear. It does not open. The key does not open a fucking thing. Let's be clear.
Throw that out there and not share. We be sharing here.
It opens your mind.
Like sharing
let's be clear. The key does not open a single door in Phillipsburg because I tried.
But it opens eyes.
They awarded
That's
me
fine.
this, I think, for the work that I've done in the addiction community in town,
Okay.
and the people that I help out accordingly.
Nah, that's beautiful.
Again, because like the stigma goes, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody's looking for help or knows that they need help,
Mhm.
you know? And like I said, like God saved me. And I think, like, you know, my wife asked me the other day, well, what do you think your purpose is? And at the end of the day, like when it's all said and done, like I want to be remembered for not any of my accommodations or my accolades, but like, you know what I mean? Like the little kid that came up to me and said, you taught me how to shoot a jump shot. Or like my son that said, like, you taught me all of this, now watch me take this and get better. Or my daughter that messaged me on Father's Day and said, you know, you taught me how man's really supposed to. Yeah, I see you love mom, and I see you love me, and you know what I mean. Miss me with all the material shit. Remember me for that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean.
Yo,
But let's
Right.
be clear. Let's be clear. It's still cancel all the fucking racists and the bait and
Oh,
the
no
race
doubt.
traders
Absolutely.
and the race baiters and everybody else. I
Yeah.
also want to take this time to
Nah,
shout
talk
out
your shit.
everybody that engages in the group. You see how I released the murder hornets on your ass the other day because I was driving. You wanted to drop that entitlement shit, right? So I hit my man like, yo, I'm driving, assassinate him. And guess what happened? 63 comments later. You know what I mean?
Yo. Black
I'm just happy to
Earth.
be here.
Bars.
Yo.
Get him out of here, Black.
Hey, yo, but
Yo.
let's give a shout out to TJ though for doing what he can for the community. You know,
Oh, no, man. Applaud
You know what I'm saying? It's
yourselves.
to be
I'm just happy to
respected.
be here.
we was about to go there.
brother.
We was about to go there. Because
Big
you're right. Because
Black Earth. What's up?
brother, you right. Because TJ, yo, for real, for anybody who hasn't told you, bro, you're a fucking hero, bro.
He's playing the hero shit.
No, on some real shit, B. Because like, there's so many people that know who to look for. They got you, bro. They got you. You help people that you know that was expecting to look for help, like you just said.
All right.
And I'm gonna cancel that real quick. But what I'm saying to you, man, you don't know what you mean to your own community, and that's why I need you to be a part of this, because I know how you can foster a conversation and let's get us to where we need to be in the platform that we need to look at and where we want to go.
Absolutely.
So you're essential in building. You're a key brick in building this foundation for what we're trying to get to in this community. Also, everybody out there that's celebrating Father's Day, this is off schedule. All the women, single women out there that are actually being the fathers to their children. I can't discard you. People want to say we can't include you. Listen, you're doing your damn thing.
We can.
I appreciate y'all and all the single fathers out there that's holding it down, yo, and taking care of their family and being family men and raising their kids by them lonesome, by their damn self. You know, and those who don't even have a father, yo, let me tell you.
Salute to y'all.
Yo.
You know, I had tickets to his last show before he passed, and the dumbass that I was with decided he didn't want to go, so I sold those damn tickets, and then he died, and I didn't get to see him. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
You digress, bro. I also want to say to all my this goes out to all the great fathers out there, because I know we all trying to be.
Yeah.
We just trying to be good men out there.
Yo,
Raise
you're
our
not canceling
family,
nobody tonight, Black?
give a better future to our kids.
I just want to be a good man, good man. Girl, that's all
Wanna be a good man.
Happy Father's Day to y'all. I'm gonna let this breathe.
Just want to be a good man. No cancer.
And Father, hold up, and Father MC, you take us out, brother.
Yeah. So we not canceling Valentine's Day, y'all, for them PS5s.
My brother.
I ain't fucking with that. Yeah, not fucking with that. I mean, yo, all right, let me be real. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I get it. It doesn't amount, though. It doesn't amount. That's the bottom line. I never had a Father's Day where I had to spend $500. $530 plus tax, $545, however you want to chop that up. I think it's hilarious, though, and if y'all want to fight for y'all equality, go ahead, man. You can't Valentine's Day without women if they don't buy you a PS5. Y'all do that. I'm not with the shits. I buy my own.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
We'll touch up on that on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. 9 p.m. Eastern times. Also, 7 p.m. Jackson gonna be with us Tuesday, buddy? Yo, so that means also my Mountain Time people, Standard Time people, that's 7 p.m. your time. I want to leave you with this quote before we're out. Also, for everyone, pay attention to this. If you don't define yourself for yourself, you'll be crushed into other people's fantasies of you and be eaten alive. And I'm gonna leave you with that. The quote is unknown. Listen, y'all celebrate Happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. Y'all hold us down. We'll see you again soon. Yo, King Clips, take us out. I'm sorry, Father MC.
Father MC.
Take us
Hey,
out.
listen, man, I am Father MC on Father's Day. Father with a B, not a THER. You know, because catch me here in the group. I'm busy. I'm in the debates, man. I'm getting tired of y'all, though. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now.
Oh, yeah,
I love what y'all doing. I love what y'all doing. I love what y'all doing. I'm not saying stop posting because I love all that activity, man. But I can't debate all of y'all all of the time. And that's all I'm saying, man. That's why y'all gonna see me turn into a different bag this week. I got some shit for y'all. And but shout outs to everybody who's supporting, showing love. Subscribe to our YouTube page, drop a like. Yeah, man. You know, we got out here. So I'm gonna bring it over.
I interrupt you. Let me touch up real quick.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate on the activity on the page, yo. Please keep it respectful, please. And listen, you might see a post that may not get posted. You see up there because we diligently go through the page. We're not promoting hate on our page. Listen, the worst thing that I can see is that when people feel a certain way and want to get their voices, they want to get their opinion across, instead of actually making an argument and defending their opinion, they choose, for instance, I'll use this as an example, a black face that identifies with the message that you're trying to put across, that does not speak volumes of the black community, like the Candace Owens. Those are other people. Please stop that trying to put your defense in there. The Hoggins twins, they don't live in anywhere in any black community that they can even tell you about. They've been privileged their whole life. Let's talk about real subject matter. Give us your real opinion. Stop posting through other black people that you think that is going to catch your attention, so that you think that we're going to have a different opinion about it. No, not everybody is for us.
And I didn't want to say it like that. I wanted to say it like it comes across like, hey, well, these niggers love us. Why don't you just get down with this bullshit that we're doing? Like, come on, man. Like, nah, we're not beating. I'm dead in that conversation from the gate because we're not talking about what we need to. Your narrative spinning. And we spoke about narrative spinning tonight. Like, you wanna talk about a fucking election day or a political campaign. Well, we need to find out where this dough is actually going to put back into our community to build relations with police, law enforcement, and racist people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be in these schools. We need to teach them that this shit is dead wrong. You know, and I'm not talking like just the hood. I need to be out like here, Warren County, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? I need to be like right here. Because guess what? These kids from Warren County, New Jersey will come with an unfortunate situation, right? And then they're like, fuck that. I'm not going to get bullied anymore. I'm joining the police academy. That's where they send them right after the police academy. Right to Harlem, right to Decatur, right to fucking your hood. And then they deal with some like minds that came right where you're from. And then they're going to be like, okay, we're just going to kill black people. Fuck that, man. That's not what we're about. We're about love, keeping it respectful. Be respectful to the ladies too. Some of y'all dudes is really
y'all is messy.
But y'all really pushing.
Yeah, too much, yo.
Y'all messy. Y'all real sexual harassment.
And the ladies is with the fuckery.
I mean, but yo, my G, on Father's Day at 8:24 in the morning. What you thinking about, B?
I woke up this morning like, what? Come on, B. I
woke up this morning like
what's up,
B? Something that I was not okay with, and I called him out, and he deleted it. Thank goodness, but. No, that's not okay.
Yeah, but happy Father's Day to y'all. I'm saying y'all can go in. I love chaos. Be messy. Just keep it respectful, my God. Like, we don't want full-blown porn on the wall. Really?
Those are facts.
Like, come on. Y'all tripping.
Yeah, we all about freedom of expression, but listen, let's be mindful of expression. Because I'll tell you this now, because from here on, this point on, if we see that you posting this negative energy or this energy that we feel some way, we're not just gonna remove it. We're gonna attack you. We're gonna make you stand in front of it. We're gonna see we coming at you, each one of us. We're gonna come at you and make you prove your position.
Stand by Black 100%.
Stand by him as well.
Listen,
And
it's on
also,
you. God, sorry.
Also, no degrading women whatsoever.
Now, what does that entail? Write a list for them.
I need to move my glass for this one because I'm right here for all of that.
Yeah. No more degrading women. Okay.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. What is?
Huh?
Listen, let's be clear so that they know what degrading women is, because some of these guys, I don't think, if you're gonna post fucking crazy shit at 8:30 in the morning, you got time for the fuckery. Like, I'm not even awake yet. Seriously.
What I'm talking about is body shaming, slut shaming, whore calling, all the names in the book about women. That's not okay. You know, that was 50 years ago. You want to call women that. Today is 2020. Hello.
Okay.
We don't do that now. So get with the program or get to stepping, because you're on the clock. Sorry.
Gosh.
He put y'all on the clock. TJ Spitter, you on the clock, baby. What's good? What's good, man? What you got to say?
I'm just happy to be here, man. It's an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be a part of this group of like-minded thinkers. I mean, not really like-minded thinkers, because we be going back and forth on a bunch of different topics, but it's real dope, man. It's real dope to see how far we've come in just a short period of time and how far we're gonna go. You know, I'm like I said again, y'all gonna be real pissed off when women oppression is another topic, and we gotta cover that. Okay,
yeah.
Like, let's be clear. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We could cover all these topics, but when women oppression is discussed, and Lady E and Chrissy got their whole panel of women destroying y'all messy motherfuckers, don't say I ain't tell you so, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
Chrissy, you want to?
Oh, well, I just want to say thank you guys for inviting me. Hopefully, you guys get to see me again. And I definitely enjoy the dialogue back and forth. I am here for all of it. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the conversations. For the last time, I said it earlier, I am in a group with 3 other women, and we are starting a movement. It's Black Everything, Black Community, Black Accountability, all of that. It's Force for Life, FORCE, number 4, LIFE.com. It's going live June 29th. So just be on the lookout for it. It's going to be a hub where you can centrally get a lot of information, voting information, assemblyman information, just things in your community, Black-owned businesses, a bunch of different information. And then also, thank you. Also, please do not forget to go to YouTube, subscribe, come to Facebook, like the page, join the group, go to Facebook, join. Okay, this is where you're gonna get all your information when we're going live. Well, when they're going live, I keep saying we. I feel like I'm part of the family. I don't know.
You are family, baby. You're family. You're family.
You know. Definitely, absolutely. I appreciate that, Black. Thank you. So absolutely make sure you subscribe, join, share, like, all of that, okay? Because the bigger we grow, the more topics that we can touch and the more information we can get out there to you. So again, thank you guys, and happy Father's Day to everybody on the panel, even you, Lady E, okay?
Jackson.
Thank you.
What's up?
You got something to say in closing, bro?
In closing, the quote that you said is Audre Lorde. Yeah, fantastic author. Honestly, happy Father's Day to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm keeping it short and sweet. That's it.
All right. I want to say I'm gonna hand it off to Father NC. But yo, we're gonna be in your community. Clock In is a movement. I told you.
Wait, you forgot my Lady E. Hold on, girl power.
No. All right, I apologize. But I wanted to say this before I forgot this because I'm old. I got an old mind. I forget. Maybe I need to speak to somebody. Anyway, so we're gonna clock watches. We're gonna be in communities. We're gonna be functioning when we open up these doors. We're gonna be doing pictures. We're gonna be set up. We're gonna be down everywhere. We're going everywhere. We're building this community online to build this community in our actual communities. So we want everyone to be a part of it. Don't matter what race, color, creed. We want your information. We want how we can help. We're going to be in Flemington at some point. We got guests coming on from Flemington because there's some oppression going on there, and we want to stand with our brother in arms and help get the movement out of Hunterdon County there. And on that note, I'm going to go to Lady E because I know she got to say something. I apologize, baby. You know I don't mean. I know better than that. I'm gonna let you speak, and then we're gonna go to Father and C, and then we'll wrap this up. Go ahead, Lady E.
Okay. Thank you, Lavender Shug, for your
wow.
It's stuck. Let's go, E. It's stuck. It's on. Yeah, that's your login from now on, B.
Just want to say happy Father's Day to all of you guys and everybody who is watching tonight, and even you, Chrissy, too, because you're a single mother. So yeah, just thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all your feedback, questions, comments, likes, posts. Keep them coming. Keep them respectful, and let's just have a good time in here, and let's spread awareness, and let's join together as a community and stand for what we believe in, because we are all in this together, and nothing is going to change without all of us pitching in and supporting each other as a family. You know, yeah, so just thank you guys, and back to you, Farva MC.
So yo, check this out, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to us tonight, man. We really appreciate you, like we said. Like also, we don't mind messy. Don't get me wrong. We love that, but keep it respectful. You know, y'all going a little too crazy right now. There's no reason we should wake up early in the morning and see foulness going on. So at that, I'm gonna keep it pushing. Subscribe to our YouTube. Drop likes on the videos. Invite your friends. Share this video, as a matter of fact, with your Facebook community, and let's keep the family growing, man. Like Black said, we want to touch on some things, hopefully in the very near future, hopefully Tuesday, hopefully in a couple of days, and shed some light on some things going on out there that, you know, isn't right, what we're trying to accomplish, and people are getting in the fucking way. So at that, we are out of here. Thank you for tuning in. You are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, man.
Until we meet again, you're on the clock.